Hey guys, and welcome back to Draw Along Doodles with Walker. We are in our school edition, and so of course, we've got some art supplies to draw. So today we're going to be drawing a tube of paint with some paint squirting out. I'm going vertical because this is something that's taller than it is wide. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make two lines that lean slightly into each other. Not a lot, but a little. So not parallel, but getting a little bit wider as they go down. Okay, now I'm going to come and I'm going to add a slight curve to the top. Okay, then in the middle, I'm going to make the spout that it's coming out of. Not a spout, what's that called? The end of the tube. And then I'm going to make a complementary curve right here. So it's complementing what's underneath it. And then down here at the end, I'm going to close off the tube with the crimping. So I'm going to go straight across and then go up a little bit and go straight across. And I'm going to go ahead and put the little crimping marks, which are just little straight lines in this section, so that it will visually help separate it for us as we work on the next part. Okay, now at the top, you usually have the label that tells you what color or what it is. So we're going to reverse this curve right here because we're working with something that's rounded. So I'm just going to reverse. And then I'm going to give it like a little color tab, like some do, that's coming around. And then sometimes they have a little monogram right here. Okay, now, whatever color you decide to write, I'm going to go with red because then I can show you something simple. So I'm going to write my letters. And then there is a really easy way to make block letters if it's not something that you're comfortable with all the time. So just come and go a little bit outside the letter, almost like you're making an inner tube for the letter or a moat. If there's a hole in the letter, you need to do it on the inside too. I'll zoom in just a little bit so that's a little bit easier to see. So I'm making my moat. Making my moat. Here we go. And I am adding little feet as well. Those are called serifs. And I just always feel like that is a nice thing. Sometimes there'll be descriptions underneath. You might say that it's, bright red, or you might say something else. Sometimes they list the particular formulation. So, for example, if it's titanium white, they might say titanium. All right. Now, we need to do the places where it is squeezed out. So, we need to make the dents. So, I'm going to come in to the side and angling down. I'm going to make a little dent in. And then from the tip of that dent, I'm going to go back out to the side. So I came in, made a teardrop shaped dent, and then went back to the side. All right, down here, I'm going to go up and make a dent in and back. All right. Down here, I'm going to come up, in and back to my teardrop. And then I'm going to come back out. Erase that little part. All right, and now we're going to come in and make a long, thin one here and out. Okay. So that should feel a little bit more believable as far as like you've been squeezing it and rolling it and bending it. And then we'll add a couple lines down here to show where there is some shadowing. I mean, we can do that with our color too, but this will add just a little bit of basic shadowing with what we call a hatch, which is a straight line that has been added to other straight lines to present a darker area. All right, now let's make the part of the cap where the threads are. So I'm going to imitate that curve. I'm going to go slightly outside of the edges, and then I'll come back around so that it turns out kind of like parentheses. Then I've got one more. I'm going to come curve and then go down to the top, curving and going down. Excellent. Now we need paint squishing out. So the keys here are just that you want it to be inside the width of the top, because if it was coming out from over here, then it wouldn't make sense. But how you turn it or how you squish it is up to you. I'm going to put a little drip right there. Now, if you would like to make a cap, what you're going to need is a cylinder that angles out slightly. So I've got my oval. Try to make it about the same size as would fit onto here. So a little bit bigger. Okay. Then I'm going to go down and ever so slightly out. And then I'm going to come and curve right there. And usually these are serrated on the edge so that you can grip them, which can get to be a problem if there's lots of paint junked up here. All right, let's see what we've got as we Sharpie. All right, as usual, we're going to start with the things that we might accidentally go over. So I'll get my threads for my top. Then I'll get the top itself. I'm going to skip over where those threads would hit. Then I'm going to get the top of my container, down the sides. I'm going to go in for the bend, in for the bend. Do the same thing from the other side. In for the bend, in for the bend. All right, and now I'm down to the bottom so I can go straight across for the crimping. And I'm going to separate out the label right here with my thicker line. All right. Oh, I do need to get my top. And I'm going to get my paint. Okay. Now we're ready for a thin Sharpie or a pen, whatever you've got. I'm going to come get the inside back of that top. Then I'm going to come and get my serration so that I can see where I would grab it. Now when I go in to do the letters, since I had these letters outlined to make them larger, that's the line I'm going to choose. I'm not going to do the inside line. Here we go. Now, if you are one of my friends who is feeling like, wow, you are going so fast, remember you can always slow it down to 3/4 speed, or you can pause it while you complete something. Either way is fine. It is your call how fast or how slow you go through the video. So don't feel pressured that, oh no, they're moving on to this and I haven't done it. You're fine. You're in control of this. I'm going to put a little shine mark where I think the fattest part of my paint would be. And then I'm going to come add the hatching that we created from the side that would have the biggest shadow. Okay. And we put some down here where our dents were. And then we have crimping on the bottom. If you have never seen them make like a tube of paint or a tube of toothpaste in a factory, it is a really cool thing to do. There's a show called How It's Made, and it tends to have those videos, and so does old episodes of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. All right, guys, you are ready to work on adding color to your tube of paint. Enjoy. Bye.